day. Nah, I been smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. I be smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. You be smoking, she be smoking, he be smoking all day.
3, 2, 1, and action. What's up, everybody? It's Tony. Tony Tone coming back for another episode of Snerbidge, the podcast. It's October. Happy fall. Happy Halloween. It's October, motherfucker. I fucking love October. I love when it gets to be sweater weather, but it's not like absurdly cold out, and it's just dark, and but the leaves are changing and falling, and it's really crowish outside. I don't know. I love fall, dude. It's amazing. Fall's the most romantic season, and October's the most romantic month, if you ask me. I just love it, dude. I love taking walks with my lady in it, and it's amazing, man. It's just every reason to cuddle up to the ones that you love, I love it. And yeah, so I'm here, and I'm not like absurdly obese or anything like that, but I'm definitely not a toothpick. I got what they call a dad bod. But so yeah, I enjoy bundling up and not sweating my balls off when I'm trying to just have a nice outing with the lady, Drinking some orange juice. And the new batch. This is some good shit. The new stuff I got for today's episode is for Halloween. All you Halloween people out there, I'm smoking Bram Smokers Dankula. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm sorry if I'm snorting a little bit in here and everything. But so yeah, Bram Smokers Dankula, and we're gonna check it out really quick. It was amazing. I love these names, dude. They're great. Two, 3, That's kind of nice. Oh, it's kind of subtle. It doesn't burn the shit out of your throat. Sometimes even really, really good shit just burns the fuck out of my throat. And even right now I have a little bit of a cold, so like my throat's kind of raw anyway. And that's nice. It's almost like almost tastes a little appley. It's kind of weird. It was good though. Bram Smokers Dankula. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, I love October, and one of the reasons why I love October so much is, and you guys can think I'm a pig, but you want to know what? I've been with my wife for 14 years. Got to keep it sexy, But October is one of my favorite months because in October, I get I get to have fun with a cosplay chick because my wife actually dresses up for Halloween and stuff like that, and I've had some fun with some different characters over some years now, Oh hey yeah. Sorry, I gotta. Yeah. But so like, I've gotten to have like intimate relations with like the Crow and the Mad Hatter and Waldo. Like, where's Waldo? Waldo? Yeah. So that's like the only time. It's the most wonderful time for cosplay sex. It's amazing. Because any other time, even if it was my birthday and I was like, hey babe, you want to dress up as something sexy for me, and stuff like that, do a little cosplay. My wife would be like, nah, get fucked, bro. But This is my time. This is my month. I love this month. I love it for so many reasons. But yeah, she was talking about going as like Pennywise this year, and I'm like, well, that'd be creepy, but hot. Fucking A, dude. I love it. My wife and her outfits. So I have to let you guys know this. I was cruising through my iTunes, and you have to understand something. In 2005, I started out with iTunes on my old desktop, big ass box computer and shit. And I started by first just uploading all of my CDs to it. I wanted all my music categorized and everything in digital. Then after that, anytime I go over to somebody else's place and they'd have music on a computer, I would dump it onto my computer. So eventually I had like a year's worth of music. Like if I clicked play on the first song, it would take a year to go through it all. Then one of my external hard drives decided to take a dump. Excuse me. And I lost half of that music. But dude, there was music there from a lot of different eras of my life. So I'm going through it the other day. There's a lot of stuff on there I've never even heard before. But I dumped a couple of the clubs that I've worked in and DJ'd at in my time. If I went in there and they had a whole bunch of music in their library, I dumped it onto my shit. I found a song, and it's the greatest song of all time. Greatest song of all time. I don't even I've listened to it, and it's a good song, but just the name, what I saw on my screen was the greatest thing I've ever seen. And it's a band called Pizza Man. And the song is, I don't need this shit. I'm just looking at it, Pizza Man. I don't need this shit. And it's great. I don't need this shit. And it's like fucking techno music, and it's amazing. So yeah, if you have a minute, check out Pizza Man. I don't need this shit. It's pretty fun, dude. It's I had to get that out there. But yeah. So yeah, back to Halloween, October and stuff. So like my kids, it's like, you know, the older boys, they, you know, oh, give me a mask and I'm cool and everything, you know, I don't give a shit, or paint my face and I'm cool. I don't have to go out and get them like $80 fucking outfits or anything like that. But my younger two, they want to be anime characters. And it's like, I cannot find these things anywhere that are less than like $80 online. And it's like, they all got to come from Japan. And it's all got, and like, you know, like my wife even found like a hoodie that was the exact same thing as one of them wanted, but it was in a hoodie form. She's like, I don't want that. It's not a kimono. I'm like, oh my fucking God, dude. You know, like, you want me to just get you a bed sheet, toss it over you, poke some eye holes in it? I mean, you know, whatever happened, can you just be a fucking zombie? Can you just be a fucking mummy or something? You know, you want to be Elsa from the Frozen movie? You know, come on, dude. Jesus Christ, man. I got money for that shit. Can't you just be a fucking ghost? I used to deliver pizza. And I actually really liked that job. It ruins vehicles, like completely and totally, inside and out too, because ooh, Dankula. If you've ever delivered pizza, you know that once you deliver a few pizzas that have cooked green or black olives on them, you can't get that smell out of your car. I actually was like pulled over by a cop one time after I'd gotten off of work at Pizza Hut. I was still in my Pizza Hut uniform, and he pulls me over, and he's like, oh, it smells like you've been drinking. I'm like, no, it smells like fucking green olives in my car, bro. And yeah, no ticket. But yeah, so I used to deliver, you know, one of the worst nights to deliver pizza is Halloween. Because people are like super busy, and they're just like, they kind of like, I don't know, like for some odd reason, people just forget to tip on Halloween. But then also you have a bunch of children running around all over the place, you know, all over the road, everywhere. And like one of the last times, it's been a long time since I delivered pizza. But one of the last times that I delivered it was like, God, dude, I'd say probably like 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. And the 3 top selling costumes for that year was Black Spider-Man, Batman, and I mean Black Spider-Man, like not like the black outfit Spider-Man from like Spider-Man 3, Batman, and Darth Vader. So in the words of SNL, like they have a whole bunch of invisible pedestrians running around everywhere. And that's always fun. But yeah, man, I just remember when I was a kid, it was like, it was all like, I don't know, maybe we were just poor, but my like we came up with our own costumes and stuff like that. Every once in a while, you know, I'd have like some bullshit Batman costume and stuff like that. But like, I actually won a costume contest one time when I was a kid. My mom, I went as Merlin the Magician, and my mom made like this huge, like this awesome outfit, and I had the beard and everything, and I fucking played it up, and yeah, and I won like the YMCA costume competition or some shit. It's great. So I got that going for me, which is nice. But yeah, man, other than that, I love Halloween. Like every year I like put speakers in my windows and I blare like fucking Rob Zombie and like crazy, weird, like horrific music out my fucking front windows like every year. Because when I was a kid, my dad used to have like a you know, one of those like DX7 keyboards or something that has like the ghost sounds and explosions and stuff. But he would just sit there and record a whole bunch of ghost sounds and then just blare that out the fucking window. And so I took it a step further. They're listening to like, you know, House of a Thousand Corpses and, you know, old fucking bury me in a nameless grave kind of shit, you know, just like over and over again. And this is our second year now in our house in a neighborhood. Last year kind of sucked because it was COVID. So it's like not a lot of people went trick-or-treating. And we had a kid to trick-or-treating, but I think there's a fucking strong possibility that all of my kids are going to be with some group of friends this Halloween. So, I'm not saying that COVID's gone or anything like that, but, you know, but yeah, I might actually be able to like hang out at my house and like, you know, give out candy and shit. And I took it off from work because fuck it. I don't want to fucking work on Halloween. It's Halloween. I'm already working on Devil's Night. So screw it, you know. Every year, my wife and I watch The Crow on Devil's Night. That's October 30th. And I guess like that's actually like a thing. Like Detroit, it was like a thing where, you know, mass arsons happened on October 30th. I don't even know if it's still a thing, but yeah, it's kind of a thing. Kind of crazy shit. Ooh, this Dankula's dank. It good. Bram Smokers. So I wanted to touch on something really quick. And it's this Dave Chappelle controversy that's going on right now with Netflix and his latest special. I have not seen his latest special. I honestly have not had time to watch it. I want to watch it, but I just haven't had time to watch it. But I have read, you know, what he said and everything, and it was a joke. It was a joke, you know, and it wasn't a hateful joke. And I just don't see a lot of hate coming from that man. It's jokes, and that's the one thing that, you know, go back and listen to George Carlin talk about, you know, the context in which, you know, you present a joke and stuff like that. And it's a fine line. It definitely is a fucking fine line, dude. But at the same time, like what he said was not hateful or anything like that. And it was basically, here are my comedic observations of something that is strange to me. And that's the thing, man. And that's the one thing that I hope the LGBTQ community can. I just wish that everybody kind of thought about it like this, and that is, it is perfectly okay for people to think that a man kissing a man is strange. It's perfectly okay for somebody to think that a man wanting to transition into a woman or vice versa is strange. It's your personal shit, man. You know, like, I don't dig on dudes. I am perfectly comfortable in the body that I was born in. And I completely, totally know that there are people out there that are homosexual, and there are people out there that you know, identify as the opposite gender because that's how they feel inside. That's who they are inside, is that. And that's perfectly fine with me. But you got to give us some leeway in it's perfectly okay for you to think that it's strange for a straight person, for, you know, I am not going to use the word normal, but somebody who is the you know, the prototype pretty much of human sexuality. You know, this is like what, you know, was started off with, and then it grew, it blossomed, and it's perfectly okay. And I love the fact that there are people out there that want to, you know, want to express those feelings that they have, and that maybe some of them have had forever that weren't able to express. And it's like, shout it from a mountaintop, dude. If you're LGBTQ, anything, just be that person. But just remember that for some of us, it is going to be strange. It is going to be foreign to us. You know, I don't want to use the word weird, but I'm going to say weird. To some of us, it might seem weird, you know, but that's just because it's not normal for our thinking and how our brain, you know, how we are as a person individually, because everybody's different. And, you know, to people out there that, you know, are like me and they are straight, you know, male, born male, all that stuff. And you're listening to me nodding your head saying, yeah, you know, it's fucking weird. Well, you got to be a little bit more, you got to tone it down, and just remember that it's perfectly okay to think that something is strange, you know, but when that starts heading into the discounting, you know, declusion, I don't know if that's even a fucking word, you know, hate, anything like that, once it starts getting into that, then it's no bueno. You know, you have to, I'm accepting. See, that's the thing, is I feel like I'm perfectly okay with, you know, I don't want to see two dudes kissing, you know, so I don't, you know, I don't look at it. And that's, you know, I don't want to see a dude and a chick kiss, you know. Honestly, two girls kissing, it's kind of, you know, it doesn't really fucking matter. But it's just like, God, where am I going with this? This Dankula's Dankula. I don't want to look at it, you know. I'm not gay. I'm not, you know. Anytime a guy has ever hit on me, I've always been like, dude, thank you. You know, like, thank you. Must be looking good today. But, you know, no, sorry, man. You know, that's a battle you're not going to win. I like vagina way too much. And I like my wife's vagina way too much. But no, I'm accepting of anybody. However your lifestyle is, you know, and these people aren't hurting anybody. That's my thing. Are you hurting anybody? You know, are you hurting anybody wanting to, you know, become a man if you're a woman, or vice versa? Are you hurting anybody that you want to date a man, marry a man, and you're a man? No, you're not hurting anybody. They're not hurting me. They're not hurting anybody. So let them do their thing. And don't fucking brush the fucking faith, you know, the faith thing at me and everything like that, because that, you know, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother conversation, the whole faith thing. But you guys have to understand, LGBTQ community has to understand about, especially comedians, they look for funny in anything, and there are tasteless jokes out there. There are terrible jokes out there, but you can't, I just don't feel like Dave Chappelle should be like canceled over this, and his special just, stricken from the record book and everything like that, because he's a comedian. It was a joke. And yeah, I mean, it might have, it might have gotten under somebody's skin, but every joke gets under somebody's skin. Even a fucking knock joke gets under people's skin for different reasons. And I'm not saying that making fun, of it is a good thing at all. But there's just, jokes are jokes. There's no malicious intent. He's not saying that he hates these people. Basically, what he said with his joke was, "This is strange to me," but he said it in a funny way, and it's not put out there to hate on anybody or anything like that. It was a tiny bit tasteless, but it's Dave Chappelle, man. I'm not saying that, oh, it's Dave Chappelle, he's awesome, he can do whatever he wants. I mean, that's kind of, his jokes have always, skirted that line. And a lot of it's just been racial. Oh, it's fine because he's black. He can dive into race as much as he wants. But the moment he dips a toe into the LGBTQ community just to make somebody laugh, I think it's just being blown out of proportion, if I was Dave Chappelle, I'd definitely be like, hey, if you were offended by my joke, I'm really, really sorry. I didn't mean it like that, but it was a joke and I thought it was funny, Ugh. My point is that it's perfectly okay to think that something is strange because it's not your normal. Just don't hate about it. Just keep your temper down. We just have to live together, man. We're living in a society. And sometimes it's just really hard to feel like everybody's just after everybody. Everybody's at each other's throats about everything, and I know that like bullies have been doing things, to make people laugh since the dawn of time. So my argument saying, well, he just made it to make, to make people laugh and stuff. I get it, man. It's tough. It's tough. But do I think Dave Chappelle's a terrible fucking human being for saying it? No. I think that he's a comedian. And sometimes I had a joke once. And this joke, I said it probably 4 or 5 times on stage. And 3 out of 5 of those times I got good laughs. The other 2 kind of fell flat. It was a joke about me being raped. And I said, personally, it really kind of, because I got really drunk one night in high school and a girl that I hung out with, didn't want to have anything to do with, took advantage of me and did a whole bunch of stuff to me that I didn't want her to do. And I woke up feeling pretty gross. And, I was raped. I was raped. But, in retrospect, looking back on it, years later and stuff like that, especially with the bald spot and the spare tire and everything, I just have to kind of look back and say, well, I was looking good that night, Can't really blame her. I was looking pretty good back then. And, it's my joke because it was my rape, so I can make fun of it. God damn it. It's not a bash on anybody else. I don't think that rape in general is funny or anything like that. I just thought that was funny when I made it up. And I did it a little bit better on stage. It's been a long time since I did that joke. But, I must have been looking good that night. I don't know, man. It was funny when I thought of it, and a lot of other people thought it was funny. So it was kind of one of those things, though, that was like half and half. So it's, I get it. Jokes can be tasteless, but does he deserve to be canceled for it? No. Did he hurt anybody with it? No. I mean, he might have hurt some feelings, yes. But everybody just needs to calm down. Everybody just needs to calm down, man. Everybody's so up in arms about everything all the time. Like I say man a lot, I say man a lot. And like I'll get those women, well, I'll just be sitting there and I'm like, hey, do you want, this in your drink, man? I am not a man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But, people just get so uppity, and there's just so much more to life than just than having something to get pissed off about all the time. And that's what I'm trying not to be bitter. I'm trying not to be so jaded and just so downward thinking, I guess I should call it. I'm just really trying to like bring myself to a better place mentally and spiritually and stuff. And I just think, this might be the most stoner thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say it while I take a hit, though. Everybody just needs to relax. Everybody just needs to relax. And we have so many other problems in this world other than a lot of this, cancel culture stuff. Now, I will say that, like the Harvey Weinsteins and all that shit, if they were like, assaulting people and doing a bunch of heinous shit like that, I think, yeah, perfect. Let's cancel the fuck out of them. I mean, Kevin Spacey was one of my favorite actors growing up. I thought he was one of the greatest actors of all time growing up. And now all this bullshit, well, I can't even bring myself to watch Usual Suspects, man. So I get it. I get it completely. There's some gross shit that goes on out there, but canceling a comedian for a joke that, wasn't like aimed for hate. It wasn't aimed for hate, It was aimed to make you laugh. Anyways, everybody just needs to calm the fuck down. Like, for real. We just need to, as one united people, come together and, squash this fucking virus, because we could if that orange prick just would have never had come out against masks and vaccines and, all this bullshit. Like, if he just would have just went, with exactly what the CDC was saying and everybody was just on board, it was a collective thing between Democrats and Republicans, bipartisan, just everybody, we're all in this together, just like 9/11, we're all in this together, and it could have been a beautiful moment out of a terrible situation, and we could have squashed this thing fucking, a long fucking time ago. But there's just so much divisiveness now, and it's really hard. It's really fucking hard. The world's going to shit, man. So let's just chill out and smoke some weed and just, do your job. Go to your job. Let's just keep this machine running, but we need to do things. We need to do things differently so the machine doesn't break down, and that's a whole nother thing. My biggest thing is, I think that convenience is what's going to kill mankind. Convenience. That's what it all boils down to. Convenience. And we will talk about that on a different fucking episode. Since it is Halloween time, I started thinking about my buddy Chuck. Not that I never think about my buddy Chuck. I think about him all the time. His name's Charles Erickson, and he is incarcerated in a Missouri penitentiary right now for a crime he did not commit, a murder he did not commit. It is a very, very intricate story. I'm really not going to go into all the details right now. You can watch on Netflix. There's a documentary called Dream Killer, and it's about a couple of old classmates of mine. And I'm just going to say free Chuck Erickson, because this horrible thing happened night before Halloween. I think it was the night before Halloween. Was it the night before, or was it Halloween night? Yeah, it was Halloween night. Back in 2001, something like that. But a murder happened in the town that I lived in, and a couple of my classmates went to prison for it. One of them was a buddy of mine. And his name's Charles Erickson, and he's still in prison. And watch Dream Killer on Netflix. But yeah, it's getting to be the anniversary of it again, the 20-year anniversary of the murder, I think. And I think I might just, every episode now, I might just say free Charles Erickson. Watch Dream Killer on Netflix. Free Charles Erickson. A little bit lighter of a note, really quick. I'm going to go through a top 10 list, because I haven't done one of those lately. Top 10 scary movies. And they're in no particular order. Well, the number one spot, the last one, that's right where it needs to be. But yeah, my top 10 scary movies. And I made a thing about this on a previous online channel that I was a part of. But it's changed a little bit. So, yeah, we're going to... Whoa. So I'm really sorry if my rant about Dave Chappelle and the LGBTQ community and everything was just a big old downer. Free freedom. Free freedom for everybody. Just everybody just needs to mind their own fucking business in a lot of different respects, you know? And just be accepting, you know, even if it, you know, even if you think it's weird or strange or foreign or something like that, you know, try to be accepting of it and try to understand it, you know. Don't hate what you don't know for no reason, you know. Try not to hate anything at all, but don't hate something that you know nothing about. Fuck, look at the American History X, you know. The fucking Nazi ends up being, you know, friends with the, you know, a black dude in prison and stuff like that, and ends up realizing, wow, I'm a piece of shit and I just had it all wrong and everything. Watch American History X. You know? Fuck, man. Crazy shit. But, yeah. Top 10 scary movies. Firefly trilogy. Like the family Firefly trilogy. So, the Rob Zombie movies. I don't know if anybody else calls it that, but I call it the Firefly trilogy. But yeah, it's the Rob Zombie movies, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, Three from Hell. All brilliantly made, disturbing, uncomfortable. Just, it's not just a bunch of jump scares. It's disturbing and it's uncomfortable, you know? So yeah, the family Firefly trilogy, Rob Zombie. The second one is The Thing. And that's John Carpenter's The Thing from, like, God, I think it was like 1981, something like that. 1987. I don't know, something like that. In the 80s, John Carpenter made a movie called The Thing, and it is said to be one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and I agree with that. And it's fucking nuts. And I want to name a dog McCready and call it Mac. Or Sweden. Name the dog Sweden. Sweden! They're Norwegians, Mac. I fucking love The Thing, dude. Next one, Satan's Little Helper. Check it out. Just watch the trailer for that fucking movie. It might even be free on YouTube. It was such a B movie that I just happened to see once. And it's just amazing. I fucking love it. It's about like a serial killer that like breaks out of jail, and it's on Halloween, and so he's like donned this fucking like devil costume and shit, and he goes around trick-or-treating with this kid. It's fucking ridiculous, dude, but it's great. Satan's Little Helper. Next, I really like the Cloverfield movies, and I cannot fucking wait for another Cloverfield movie. So yeah, the Cloverfield trilogy so far, I really like those movies. I think they're crazy. So yeah, it's Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and the Cloverfield Paradox. I thought they were all three really great movies, and different aspects, different stories. It's amazing. I thought it was great. The next one, this one's kind of weird because it wasn't billed as a horror movie. It's like sci-fi drama, but I think it's a horror movie because it's kind of depends on what your definition of horror is. What do you find horrific? And it's Gravity. Gravity is one of the most horrific movies I've ever seen in my life because that's my nightmare, dude. Like, that's my fucking nightmare is, oh, you're doing this, you're in space and everything. Then all of a sudden it's like, boom, everything's destroyed and you're alone in space, and it's either, you're probably going to die, and you have to, like, this chick fucking figures out how to get back to fucking Earth, from being stranded in the middle of fucking space, with nobody. All the people she was up there with dead. It's like, that's my fucking nightmare, dude. Totally, completely. Gravity. Ugh. Great movie though. The next one is just one that like really fucked me up as a kid. It was actually a Disney movie called The Watcher in the Woods, and that movie is fucked. And I still to this day, I'm uncomfortable looking in mirrors because of that fucking movie. Rick. Fuck that movie. I need a hit just because of that fucking movie. Yeah, man. It's like these people move into this house, and there's this caretaker, and like one of them looks like this girl that like went missing years ago, and they start seeing her in mirrors, and I was a fucking child, man. It was fucking creepy. And even like now, I'll like look at like scenes from it on YouTube, and I'll be like, yeah, it's still creepy. Next one, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's one of the most horrific movies I've ever seen. Like, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, it was unnerving. Like, when I was a kid, it was just like, there was a lot of uncomfortable feelings in that movie. And then, you got the large Marge scene. It was, you got the, him and Mickey driving in the middle of the night, fucking talking and shit. And it was like, dude, it was a creepy, eerie movie for me. And it still kind of is, because, I mean, it's Pee-wee, but it's a Tim Burton fucking movie, man. Tim Burton actually makes a cameo in that movie when he's walking in the rain right before he goes into the fortune teller. He gets like jumped by a bunch of dudes. They like jump on him and stuff, and like dudes like, "Hey man," fucking, and that's Tim Burton. Yeah, fucking Tim Burton. Back when he made like really cool fucking movies, man. Original fucking movies too, The next one is Very Bad Things, and I won't watch this movie. I saw it maybe twice, and I won't watch it. It is so like just like a nightmare, dude. Like the worst possible things that can possibly happen to these guys. And it's They totally do it to themselves, and they do it to each other, and it's like just this big clusterfuck of just very bad things. I mean, the opening's great because one of the greatest fucking porn stars of all time, Kobe Tai, was in that movie. She was in that movie with all these fucking big stars, and she's fucking awesome. And yeah, Kobe Tai's in that movie for like 10 minutes. At the beginning, she plays a very important role in that movie, though. Just let you know. But anyways, yeah, very bad things. I refuse to watch it because it's a fucking nightmare. Like just thing after thing after thing after thing, just a fucking nightmare. Next one is like the original Amityville Horror. I was a child and I watched it and it terrified me. And to this day, like there's a couple scenes in there that still make me uneasy and just kind of give me that old child's, it was, yeah. Oof. Amityville. It's the first one, very first one. And the number one top 10 scary movie of all time, Britney Spears' Crossroads. End of list. So, thank you guys for listening to episode 5, Snerbidge, the PoTcast. I'm Tony Tone. And we were smoking Bram Smokers Dankula in honor of Halloween and October and just all things fall and awesome and everything. Thank you to Young Stone for my intro and outro music. Thank you to Sheldon Starr for my artwork and such for the channel. You can find their stuff down below. And just be accepting. Be accepting of other people. As long as it's not hurting anybody with their lifestyle, then just chill out. Just be accepting, chill out. Let's get to work. Let's all we're living in a fucking society, man. Let's act accordingly. Let's do this. I love this month. You guys have a good day. And I will talk to you guys later. Happy Halloween. If for some odd reason I don't get on and do another one of these before Halloween. Check you later.
Now I been smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. I be smoking, you been smoking, we been smoking all day. You be smoking, she be smoking, he be smoking all day. Blowing kush, it ain't face from overseas to the USA. I got that blueberry, raspberry, and we keep that juicy fruit. If you want that 5